Hey guys, it's MadameWario, and over the past year, I watched 20 Disney films of which I had never seen before. I'll be reviewing these films in the order in which I watched them, followed by ranking them from least liked to most loved. These films range in release date from 1998 to 2023. Let's get started! Finding Dory, 2016. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? No. Pros. I absolutely love the ocean and all the creatures within it, so the context and characters were an automatic win for me. Cons. I spent pretty much the entire movie thinking about and being reminded of the far superior movie I could be watching. It was seriously just one big rehash of Finding Nemo with unnecessary added material that was both far-fetched and just a little too try-hard for my personal tastes. No pun intended, but it was pretty forgettable. Encanto, 2021. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. The colors and visuals were the most captivating part of this film. I also found the main character pretty likable. The songs are great too, although someone needs to explain how We Don't Talk About Bruno is the #1 song from the soundtrack because I don't get it. Literally all of the other songs are better in my opinion. Cons. Abuela was the freaking worst, so I really didn't sympathize with her too much at all, like I think the film wanted me to. Also, the storyline just lacked complexity when it came to the climax and ending. It felt rushed and disappointing. For me, the ending I manifested in my head along the way was a lot better than the actual ending in the film. Turning Red, 2022. Did you cry? Yes, I sobbed. Would you watch it again? Yes, and I already have. Pros. Literally everything. I loved the respect given to animals in a way that was so spiritual and important for May's humanity. The fact that everyone else is able to see and accept how special May is before she can see it for herself is so realistic and true to how we all feel when figuring out who we are while growing up. The end, where May just deliberately disregards what her entire family is telling her to do and chooses to keep her panda, had me bawling. Every moment in this film was relatable to me and felt very realistic. I seriously think this film is amazing and such a fresh take on the classic coming-of-age tale. Cons. Okay, I get it. Mom is just plain overbearing and a downright turnoff for many viewers, but I think her character was necessary to drive the plotline of this film. We needed a real mom who was annoying and embarrassing in an adolescent girl's most crucial moments for once, not a fairy tale mom. Honestly, if you have a triggering relationship with your mom, this film just might not do it for you. Inside Out, 2015. Did you cry? No, but I did get teary-eyed for Bing Bong. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I like the exploration of processing emotions and developing emotional staples in your life. The concept itself was very clever. Cons. Why was Joy blue, green, and beige? Shouldn't she have been yellow, the color of happiness? I found this to be a bizarre and distracting design choice. I also wish we could have seen Riley playing out the emotions more. Because of this, the film seemed like it was missing something. I also wish that real mental issues like depression would have been the unexplainable reason why Riley couldn't find her emotions and therefore they got lost inside her head. I feel like the writers probably explored this and decided it would have been too complex for children to understand, but I think it would have made the film feel more complete. Luca, 2021. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I really like how the main characters continue to look fear in the face and proceed with their dreams anyway. Because of that, the story progression is pretty satisfying. I love the film's take on changing, yet being accepted for who you want to be in addition to who you are. The ending is so wholesome. Cons. In my opinion, the film has a pretty slow start. The first 20 minutes or so did not really keep my interest. Once the story progressed beyond the water and into the town, I got far more invested into the film and started to truly enjoy it. Zootopia, 2016. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. Proves a great point. I love that this is just a play on societal norms, racism, and stereotyping within human culture told in an anthropomorphic light. Ironically enough, I found it even more relevant to today's issues than when it would have been released back in 2016. This film definitely takes an Animal Farm approach to prove its point in a very clever way. Cons. I'm kind of tired of the cute, innocent animal being portrayed as the main villain or the big, deep-voiced tough guy in every animated film these days. That's just super cliche to me, and I feel like literally every single movie depicting animals in a human way does this. It's just not cute or funny to me. Everyone having to be the boss baby is really, really old by this point. Writers, please find a new idea. Brave, 2012. Did you cry? Yes. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I really like that this film had more of a classic grim fairy tale vibe than most Disney films do. It's been a while since I've seen that in an animated feature. I am also all about historical references, so that definitely caught my interest. Plus, the mom wearing her crown regardless of circumstance was too cute, if you know what I mean. Cons. My only real complaint is that the cultural representation was a little too barbaric for my personal tastes. Gross humor and animal humor just doesn't do it for me. Toy Story 4, 2019. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. There honestly isn't a bad Toy Story film. This was no exception. I do like the change of heart that takes place within multiple characters and that the bad guy isn't really all that bad. The two stuffed animals' terrible ideas were probably my favorite part though. Cons. As far as Toy Story films go, this one seemed the most far-fetched to me in terms of the toys abusing their coming-to-life abilities. I feel like they weren't nearly that risky in the older films, therefore the progression of the storyline wasn't as believable in this one, at least in my personal opinion. The Incredibles, 2004. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I really liked the family dynamic, particularly Bob and Helen's relationship. It was very real and honest. In addition, I liked that the movie didn't stay in one spot for too long. Cons. Action and superhero movies aren't my favorite in general, but with this one, I think there was room for a little more character development. I feel like the bad guy's sidekick just disappeared with no conclusion. The main villain didn't offer much of a climax in the end either. Big Hero 6, 2014. Did you cry? No, but I did get very teary-eyed near the end. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. My only knowledge of the film before actually seeing it was meeting Hero and Baymax in Walt Disney World. Based on that experience alone, this movie was way different from what I had imagined and expected. I'm pretty happy that the writers did not take the very obvious route of someone getting a hold of Baymax and making him evil or something. Also, I just love Baymax. He's the best. Cons. The entire movie felt a little like a knockoff of the Spider-Man films, which I probably like more than this movie. It just had a lot of similarities and parallel storylines, but I did enjoy it regardless. The Incredibles 2, 2018. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I love how the family dynamic just grows in this film. All of the family interactions were the best part of the movie and had me consistently laughing out loud. It was honestly hilarious and so relatable. I also feel there was a lot more character development in this film than in the first, but maybe that's just because it's a sequel, so there's room for more of it. Either way, I definitely enjoyed this film far more than the first movie. Cons. First of all, the main villain was about the most predictable person it could possibly be, which was disappointing. The alternative look and the name, for God's sake, wasn't fooling anyone. Secondly, I'm not a fan of Jack being mean to an animal, even if the animal in question did not get hurt. Again, animal humor does nothing for me and just angers my soul. Writers, please leave it out. People are cruel enough as is. They don't need validation. Coco, 2017. Did you cry? No, but I did get teary-eyed at parts. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. Very creative take on life after death. I was impressed with the depth of the film, and it had a pretty unique twist, too. I also really like the meaning behind the film's name. I was really scared to watch this film because I thought the dog was going to die, but even that had a twist which I really liked. Cons. I'm really tired of hating the grandmas in Hispanic-based films. Why does she always have to be the meanest, sourest human being possible? Soul, 2020. Did you cry? Yes. Would you watch it again? Absolutely. Pros. This was honestly one of the most thought-provoking animated Disney films I have ever seen. Definitely more adult-geared, but in a playful way that both hit close to home and taught you something important about yourself along the way. I loved its imaginative explanation of the unexplainable. Featured an absolutely beautiful, timeless yet progressive soundtrack as well. Cons. Other than my personal beef with Joe's dislike of cats, I honestly can't think of anything the film could have done better. No pun intended, but it played out its purpose so well. Raya and the Last Dragon, 2021. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? No. Pros. As a treasure hunt movie, pacing is always my main concern, but I felt like the story progressed at a good speed and didn't leave me wishing it would hurry along. I was also glad that the ending had a little bit of a twist to it and wasn't as predictable as I thought it was going to be. Cons. Why is the protagonist always a total idiot who falls for the most obvious traps in the world, yet presented like this wise, skilled superhuman who would never fall for anything? You could see what was going to happen in the beginning from a mile away. Also, I was really pulled away from the mythical appeal of the story when the dragon immediately spoke English and took on this super dopey persona. That just snapped me right out of where I hoped this film would take me. It was so cartoony and weird while trying to be simultaneously serious and fantastical. I just felt like that conflict of interest made for a weak and confusing combination of character and story development altogether. It was kind of a hot mess. Onward, 2020. Did you cry? Yes. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. The story took me where I never expected to go, which this time was far better than anything I would have come up with myself. It completely blew me out of the water with its failure to be predictable and could not have been more satisfying. I absolutely love the film's climax, conclusion, and the progression of the storyline. In my personal opinion, this is the movie that Frozen tried to be. It was emotionally touching, and I love the nerdy attributes that embellished the story. Cons. There really wasn't anything I thought the film could have done better because all of my ideas weren't as good as what ended up happening. Again, I love the unpredictable nature of this film. Monsters University, 2013. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. I love the overall message of this film. It implies that there is more than one path to reach your goals, and when the path you're on fails, there's always another way. This movie had some true laugh-out-loud moments, and its brand of humor well depicted the college environment in a way that was not too overdone or stereotypical. Cons. I was disappointed that the dean of students didn't really have a change of heart at all. Like, she offered some words of encouragement in the end, I guess, but even then her delivery came off kind of cold and vain. I kind of feel like her last scene in the film could have been omitted entirely and it wouldn't have made one bit of difference. It would have been nice if she had truly stood up for Mike and Sully for their skills or something, but alas, she was kind of a pointless one-note villain in the end. She sucks. The Good Dinosaur, 2015. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? No. Pros. The animation and visuals were absolutely stunning. I also really liked the score. Cons. The barbaric humor of this movie was a complete turnoff. The weird Jungle Boy kept insistently pissing me off in the beginning. Firstly, decapitating that beetle was taking it too far. Poor thing. I felt so awful for it. Also, those freaking bird things! Don't get me started! He ate the cutest little guy. I get that they were the villains, but still, these kinds of themes are just way too triggering for me. The explicit killing and eating parts were the worst. A Bug's Life, 1998. Did you cry? No. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. The film did its research about how ants actually do keep aphids as pets, which was pretty cool. I also like how the bugs are a little more colorfully represented in the film than they are in real life. This made the film more visually interesting to watch. Cons. The fact that the ants had the wrong number of legs when every other insect had the correct number of legs bothered me a lot more than it should have. It was a weird, distracting design choice. Other than that, I feel like the film's title is a bit misleading, as this isn't really about a bug's life, but more so about a battle between species and a circus act. Kinda weird, but I bet the fact that the movie Ants, with a Z, came out the same year and released before A Bug's Life was part of the issue. The film should have honestly swapped titles because Ants was more about A Bug's Life and A Bug's Life was just kind of about ants and their drama. Lightyear, 2022. Did you cry? Yes. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. Everything about socks. Well, the first thing I can say is that I have a new favorite Disney cat, and he is the best ever. Second, I enjoyed this film far more than I expected. The premise wasn't what I would have predicted. I love the element of friendship and character development throughout, and I also like the twist on Zurg. Cons. It honestly wasn't necessary to have the whole Andy tie-in. That being said, I don't think that little blurb detracted from the movie, but as a little kid, wouldn't Andy have been more obsessed with socks than Buzz? Just my 2 cents. Elemental, 2023. Did you cry? Yes. Would you watch it again? Yes. Pros. Enchanting visuals and adorable concept. Honestly, I'm surprised Disney hasn't done something like this before. I love how an entire town was born out of Bernie and Cinder's immigration, and the tribute to our ancestors who have started new lives abroad, my great-grandparents included. It was so much more of a love story than I expected, but in the best way. I love how much Wade cried throughout the film and definitely laughed out loud more than once. This movie was not heavy either, which made for an easy watch. I did cry though, since my emotions are mostly like Wade's these days. Cons. Elemental had a bit of the cliche, I can't give up my parents' dreams storyline. The only reason I wouldn't call it full-on cliche is because Ember doesn't know what she wants either. The story wasn't incredibly deep or anything, not that every Pixar film has to be, but I could see some viewers finding it pretty lackluster for that reason. It also felt like they could have probably done more with the city aspect, but maybe they're saving that road for a potential sequel. Rankings. Number 20, Finding Dory, 2016. Again, just one giant reminder of the far superior film you could be watching. Seriously, just watch Finding Nemo instead. Number 19, Raya and the Last Dragon, 2021. Just too weird for me to ever need to see again. Number 18, The Good Dinosaur, 2015. This one was just too barbaric. It had a lot going for it in the beginning, and the visuals were amazing, but it lacked the compassion that I need from this type of movie. Number 17, A Bug's Life, 1998. Not as interesting as it could have been, kinda just a bunch of human drama depicted through ants and other bugs. I still can't get over the ants' inaccurate number of legs either. Number 16, Big Hero 6, 2014. Baymax is the best. Seriously, I gotta give props to his character, but everyone else, meh. Number 15, Zootopia, 2016. Great message, super relevant to today, but kinda redundant plot lines in my opinion. Number 14, The Incredibles, 2004. Good pacing, really like the characters, and a fun time overall, just maybe needed a little bit more structure. Number 13, Inside Out, 2015. Creative concept, A for effort, but kind of forgettable in the end for me. Number 12, Encanto, 2021. Good music, enchanting visuals, and pretty fun, but Grandma is the worst. I still haven't gotten over it. Number 11, Coco, 2017. Very touching and put such a creative take on death that made it seem not so deadly. The top 10. Number 10, Brave, 2012. Again, I love the fairy tale vibe of this film and how historical it feels. Also the Tida Bears. Number 9, Toy Story 4, 2019. This one may be a little swayed by nostalgia for me, but it was lighthearted and just easy and fun to watch. Number 8, Elemental, 2023. I didn't expect such a cute romantic feature, nor did I think I would laugh out loud the way I did. Such a lighthearted charmer. Number 7, The Incredibles 2, 2018. I laughed out loud way too many times. It captured family chaos so well and in such a humorous way. Number 6, Luca, 2021. I was not expecting to like this one as much as I did, but it is such a satisfying little story about overcoming obstacles. It has the cutest, quirkiest concept too. The top 5. Number 5, Monsters University, 2013. The fact that everything doesn't exactly work out in the end the way you're expecting made this film's themes that much more relatable. Its overall message of encouragement definitely resonates with me. Number 4, Lightyear, 2022. Lightyear had a lot more to offer than just another space movie, and the fact that I loved it so much, even though I'm not big into space movies, says a lot. Also, I will never get over how perfect Socks is. Number 3, Onward, 2020. Onward took a direction that I feel hasn't really been taken in a Disney film before. It was satisfying to watch, unpredictable, and offered an emotionally moving conclusion. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Number 2, Turning Red, 2021. As an adolescent female of the early 2000s, a feminist, and someone who is all about women being freaking accepted for who they are, this is seriously my new favorite Disney film. Also, the fact that it is centered around animal spirits may be the most amazingly perfect cherry on top I could have ever imagined and didn't know I needed. Need I say more? It's amazing. Go watch it. Number 1, Soul, 2020. Strong, moving, thought-provoking, emotional, seriously just a masterpiece. This movie has stuck with me and I love it so much. You need to see this film. I hope you enjoyed listening to me review and rank the 20 Disney films that I watched for the very first time within the past year. And if you have an opinion on one of these films that I may have reviewed today, be sure to comment your thoughts, like this video, and share it with other Disney lovers in your life. Thank you so much for watching. See you again real soon.